March the 18th, 2023. Guys, we saw a lot of banking maneuvering last week with the SVB Bank going down there, Silicon Valley Bank going down, then they propping that back up or bought it out. After they excluded other banks from doing it, the Fed took over. But it had a lot of connections with digital currency, the Chinese, and the Democratic Party. One reason they bailed it out. But they came in and tried to prop up the company behind it, SVB Corporation, whatever it was. Now it has filed for bankruptcy. They came in and tried to get up the Federal National Bank, and it was collapsing. They promised to pump millions and billions into that. The shares went back down. You can only prop up something that's falling that's this heavy for so long, then everything breaks under it. And again, from Russia, it says they are ending the U.S. financial system. They're talking, who is they? That's the deep state. Wall Street Journal, on the brink of collapse, 186 U.S. banks. They are ending Credit Suisse. Now, that's over in Europe, guys. That's one of the large banks, the too big to fail systems. And so Credit Suisse tried to borrow a bunch of money. Now the Credit Suisse main system is in trouble. Stocks are dropping overnight. Question is, as they say here, are they preparing a global financial event? Exactly. That's what they're going to do. Order out of chaos. Create chaos with the international banking system. Bring in the new world order, coin or card or mark of the beast. Now, the mark of the beast is a couple of different things, guys. One is that you believe in your mind, in your forehead, that the first one coming is a savior. On the other end of that is that this mark, this number of the beast, is going to limit your global financial capabilities. Anywhere you're at is going to limit your ability to buy or sell, depending on your credit or social credit score. It goes on to say the figures released by the Wall Street Journal are dizzying. According to almost 200 U.S. banks, 186 to be exact, they're at risk of financial collapse. The Wall Street Journal cold-bloodedly executed the U.S. financial system by publishing information that creates the conditions for a bank run. Of course they did. The Wall Street Journal has been against every alternative media, every form of alternative banking since the beginning of their existence. It says Silicon Valley Bank failed after rising interest rates reduced the value of its assets and anxious customers tried to withdraw uninsured deposits. According to a new study, economists said they found 186 banks that may currently be exposed to similar risk. In a paper published this week in the Social Science Research Network, economists estimated how much value the assets of an individual bank have lost during the Fed's rapid rate hike campaign. Under whose administration? The value of such assets, which often include government bonds and mortgages, can fall with the new bonds have even higher interest rates. They are designing this. They're pushing it in our face. It's nothing that they're not trying to hide it. A lot of people say they're stupid. They're not stupid. They're pure evil, and they want this collapse, order out of chaos again. Economists also looked at the percentage of bank funding that comes from uninsured depositors or accounts with more than $250,000. They estimated that there are 186 U.S. banks where in half of uninsured depositors withdraw their funds quickly. Even insured depositors could be in trouble because the bank would not have enough assets to compensate them, potentially forcing the FDIC to intervene. It says the research comes with an important caveat. It doesn't take into account hedging, which can help protect many banks from rising interest rates. Our calculations indicate that these banks are certainly at potential risk of bankruptcy, absent further government intervention or recapitalization. How long can that go on? How long can you continue to print money until you run out of everything, including ink to print it with? That's what we're looking at. This situation calls for a regulatory intervention, and in the U.S. it seems that they no longer believe in the ability of economic authorities to improve the situation. It is the action of the Federal Reserve which has continued to raise interest rates that has caused this situation. Exactly right. In this lame excuse, they say, well, we got to curb inflation, so let's raise interest rates so that inflation rises. Think about what they're doing. That's completely opposite of the norm. You would want to lower interest rates. You would put it to where more and more people could get a loan, buy a home, buy a car, buy groceries, whatever. But you keep raising the interest rates and nobody can borrow money, no businesses, nobody can do anything. Planned chaos, planned order out of chaos, and these demons will burn in hell for what they're doing. It says, as of Saturday morning, the banking crisis seems to be getting much worse quickly. Credit Suisse CFO teams were asked to work over the weekend to clean their offices. That's today and tomorrow. This comes just days after Credit Suisse received a $54 billion bailout from the Swiss National Bank. Sources say Credit Suisse is weighing options and under pressure to merge with the UBS. Now, they're taking taxpayer monies because that's all they have. The bankers don't earn money. They are pariahs on society. And so they dump a bunch of money into one bank knowing that it's going to continue to drop. Nothing they can do about it. What are they doing? They bow the knee to the beast system and the new world order that's coming. Meanwhile, global stocks fell again on Friday on lingering fears of a wider banking crisis, despite pledges by elected officials who we trust 100% to support potentially troubled banks. The only ones they're going to support are the banks like SVB in California that was propping up the Democrats and the Chinese. Shares of First Republic Bank fell 30% on Friday despite $30 billion in support from other banks. First Republic stock ended the week down 72%. Do you see the vacuum effect, the funnel draining here? They put a situation into where First Republic Bank will be fine. All you other banks just come in and put $30 billion in and watch it go into that vacuum. An interesting note, the Federal Reserve's balance sheet jumped to $8.69 trillion on March the 15th, 3 days ago. From $839 trillion on March the 8th, they literally make money out of thin air by simply adding digits to the computers that create money in the accounts. They're saying that UBS is in talks to buy all or part of Credit Suisse, with the board of Switzerland's two biggest banks meeting separately at the weekend to consider their options, according to sources that are cited by the Financial Times. The Swiss Central Bank and regulator FINMA are orchestrating the talks in a bid to boost confidence in the country's banking sector. What they're doing is saying the ship is not sinking. Keep playing on the deck with your fiddles. It's not sinking. I know we're getting a little lower in the water and probably everyone's going to drown, but don't worry about that. Look the other way. Pump some more money in here where everyone is drained. No one has anything, so that the new beast system currency or digital card, social credit score card, will be the only game in town. It says UBS has a market value of $56.6 billion, while Credit Suisse shares closed Friday at $8 billion. Swiss regulators told the U.S. and U.K. counterparts on Friday night that a merger of the two banks is their plan A to stop the collapse of confidence in Credit Suisse. Again, this is one of the banks they said was too big to fall, but it's falling. What does that mean? It says a source familiar with the matters told the FT discussions. A number of different options are under discussion between the two banks. Another source told the FT or Financial Times, who added that both sides were trying to assess regulatory constraints in different jurisdictions. This source added that UBS is also analyzing the potential risk a deal could have for itself. Monday will be the telltale situation, because we will see as the futures come in tomorrow night what they're thinking about. But this will be, along with a couple of other U.S. banks, the ones they said they cannot let fail. If they do that and they pull in the bail-in laws, not the bailout, but the bail-in laws, everyone will lose everything trying to prop these banks up, just like we're seeing here with Credit Suisse. Lose everything, and the only game in town is left with the Feds. And the Feds are hoping for that. That way it will continue their petrodollar dominance on a world scale. The BRICS nations are now dealing with a gold-backed currency. So this Babylonian fiat currency is over. It's just going to be days. So what I would do if I were you is cash out everything you have. You may take early losses or early withdrawal penalties, no matter how you put it. But it's better to lose a little than it is to lose everything, guys. We're on the verge of total collapse. We are at the beast system and that mark. That's why I've been in a hurry to finish the book of Revelation, because those times are here. Pay attention to what we're doing. You want to leave it in there, then do it. Just like in Revelation 22. You can only talk to people so long. Or you want to take it out, put it in a credit union, you want to invest it in gold or silver and try to hedge your losses. You're in a losing downward spiral right now. Get food, supplies, medicine, AU, other metals for your family. You're going to need it. Get a lot of food. Get as much as you can get. You don't want to get in that FEMA food line, guys. We're watching it. Watch tomorrow what they're doing in Europe, and then we'll see Monday morning what the stock market's doing here. Guys, you do not have much time at all. We're watching it, guys. You watch it. So heads up, be safe.